Um, Hi guys, welcome to my C programming. Okay, in this course, you're going to learn how to develop a C program, and more, you're going to learn how to build a logic to solve problems. Okay, our focus is on building the logic and how to approach a problem and how to solve the problem. Okay, this is what we are going to do. Before we get into this, just I want to ask you all of you one question. You can question yourself: what is a program? Now, so you should, before learning programming language, we should know what is a program. This is the first question. Okay. You all know, if I ask, if you in front of me, if you ask a question, you'll always tell me a program is a set of instructions to solve a problem. That's what you want to say. Okay, now it's a set of instructions to solve a problem. Now, a program is, you said like this: a set of statements to solve a problem. Okay, a set of statements to solve a problem. Okay. So what do I mean by this? Okay, let's say in this cases I want to solve a problem. The problem is nothing but I want to make a lemon juice. This is a problem I want to solve. I want to make a lemon juice. We want to make a lemon juice. What you and me will do? Okay, first we will get the lemon. We'll get the lemon. Okay. Second, what we'll do? We'll first get the lemon. We'll get the lemon. We'll get the water. We'll get what? We'll get the salt, and if you want sugar, we'll get it. After getting that lemon, what we are going to do? After getting this, we are going to cut the lemon. Okay. Then what we'll do? We'll squeeze and add it with the water, and we'll add the sugar. We will add what? All this the processing will do. Okay guys, this is too slow. Okay. Then what we'll do after that? We'll stir it and we will serve that. Okay. If you look at this process, this lemon juice, making lemon juice, has 3 steps. One is we collect the input needed to make the lemon juice. Then what we'll do? We'll process the lemon. Then what we'll do? It will produce an output. So what we do? First is we'll get the lemon. We will what? Cut the lemon. We'll squeeze it in the water, and then we'll add the sugar, and we'll what? We serve this. If you notice this, in this solution to a problem, in this set of statements, I have 3 steps I followed. One is I looked at the input, then I processed the input, then I produced the output. Done. So now, whenever you solve a problem, every solution to a problem, every set of statements will have 3 steps. One is an input, second is a process, third is an output. That is what an output is. Let's say in this cases I want to find the area of a circle. I want to find the area of a circle. For this, I want to write a set of statements to solve the problem. If you want to find the area of a circle, what will do? What is the input needed? Input needed is a radius. What is the process? Is pi r square. What is the output? It's what is the radius. So the area is what the area. Okay. Now I am going to write this in the form of a C program. Okay, I'm going to write this in the form of a C program. Okay, how to do? Okay, we are going to write we understand what is a program first. Now I want to write this in the form of a C program. Why I want to write this in the form of C program? Because I want this program to be solved by the computer. Therefore I'm going to write in a C program. Okay, there are so many languages are there, all we'll talk about it. Okay, let's say in this cases I want to write in a C program. I'm going to make compile. So what we said, we need to talk about two things when I write a program. One is what? An input. Second is a process. Third is what? An output here. What is the input? The input is, we said, radius. Now radius will have value. I want to put a value. Okay, done. Then what is the process? The process is nothing but area is equal to pi r square. In computer I can't write pi sign, I can't write it. Therefore I am going to put 3.14 into r into r. Yes. What is the output? I need to produce output, what? An area. Output what? Area. So in order to produce an output, I am going to use printf. I am going to use what? Printf I am going to use area. Okay. Area. Okay, so now let's go. Now I am going to put area. I put it in this, but remember I put the a here in uppercase, there is what? Lowercase. Okay, before we complete it, now I am going back to this. If you want to write a C program, you are going to write a set of statements. The set of statements needs to be written inside a main function. Okay, in the between the curly brace. Why? We are going to come. I'm going to explain to you. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah. If within the curly brace, I need to write C here, start here, and end here. Within that. Next step. Now you wrote radius is equal to 10. If you write this statement, if you write this in Python, it will work for you. Python language will work for you, the same code. But in C, the first condition is every statement which you write must end with a semicolon. Must end with what? A semicolon. First thing. Next, you wrote radius is equal to 10. What is radius? Now, what is what? Radius. A radius is a variable name. You can write, see, I wrote a radius, here I wrote here r. Oh, is it r and radius is same? No, it is different. Making r. You can write radius. If you write radius, here also I need to write what? Radius. Okay. The next is r is equal to 10 I have written. Now in C, r is a variable. What is a variable? A variable is a memory location in my computer that is going to store a value. That is going to store what? A value. Okay. Every variable must have a data type. Must have a data what? Type. What is a data? A data is nothing but a small piece of information. What are the type of information you can store in a computer? You can store numbers, you can store characters, You can store a word, you can store an image, you can store what music, anything can be stored. But when you store right now, we are going to store a number. 10 is a number. In number, there are two types of number we are going to talk about. One is number with a decimal, other one is without a decimal. With the decimal, with the decimal will be called as a float or a double. Or double. You can use float or a double. Without a decimal, we will be calling as what as an int. We are going to study more on that. Okay. Float is a with a decimal. Int is what? Without a decimal. Now, I am going to say right now, I am going to say here 10. 10 is a number without a decimal right now. Therefore, I wrote int. It's a data type for R is an int. Next, I need to what? Area. Area is another variable I created. I multiply 3.14 into R. That result is going to be stored in another memory location. You need to specify what type of memory it is there. I'm going to write float. Done. Why I wrote float? Because I have 3.14. Actually 3.14 in computer, it is not a float, it is a double. Why? We study. Okay, you don't need to worry. Now I want to display the value, the output I need to give. Okay, if you want to give an output, if I write it area is equal to area, what happens? What happens in my output? It's giving area is equal to area. But I don't want, I want area's value I want. Okay, in this case what you need to do? You need to represent this. You need to represent the variable through a format specifiers. Through a format what? Specifiers. What's the format specifier I wrote? I have used double, therefore I am using LF. Comma, I put here area. So whatever you put in a double quote will appear as it is. But if you put a format specifier and substitute a variable here, the value of the variable will be substituted here. I got it. No sir, can I make it as an int? Yeah, you can make it as an int. What happens in this case? First of all, your format specifier needs to become %d. You put percentage. Now see what happens. You lost the fraction, you lost the decimal points, you lost it. If you put here integer, you lose a decimal. Okay, fine. No sir, I want to make it as a float. Okay, float make. Then you need to put a format specifier %. Therefore here what I'm going to do, I have put you right now 3 format specifier I have given you. One is, if you use an int, use a format specifier %d, you can make a note of it. If you use a float, use a format specifier %f use. If you use what? A double, use a format specifier %what? lf. Please make a note of this, okay? Got it? No sir, I want the output to go like this. I want to say here, if the radius is 10, the area is this. Okay, then what I should write? Here I am going to write if the radius is 10. 10 is stored in an integer %d, then area is this. So in the first format specifier, what I should put? R value. Therefore I put R comma this. I don't know. See, I got wrong. Yeah. So what you can do? You can practice a problem in this way. Okay. Okay, sir. Now, okay, so you wrote this right now. You solved the problem of finding the area of a circle. But my aim is I want to find the area of a triangle. Okay, if I want to find the area of a triangle, what I'm going to do? Just I'm going to knock this out. See, what are the input needed? I need the base, I need the height. Base and height. Base and height, both of them can have a fractional value. Therefore, I'm going to declare them as float or a double. What I need to do? I've declared them, I created the memory for them. Now I need to give a value to them. I could have given in the same line, I can give in next line also. I say B is equal to 12 and H is equal to, I put here in this case 4.5. I wrote input is done. What is the process? The process is half into base into height. So my area is going to be, I can give A also here. Area is going to be half into, I put half is how I am going to write what in this case, 0.5 into base into, done. I am going to next I am going to say area. I declared the variable area, right? So the area variable must have a data type. What is the data type should have? Okay, float. Next, what I need to do? My input is done, my process is done. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to produce output. I'm going to produce output, printf. The area is percentage what? F, comma, I put what? Area, semicolon, run the code, got the output here. Yeah, I hope that you are understanding this. Okay, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments and I can give you the comments. I can solve the problem. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So remember, whenever you want to solve a problem, the problem will have an input, you'll have a process, you'll have an output here. Okay. Now we are going to study one in detail. Okay, one line in what? Detail. If you have your this one, you can keep it ready here in this case. First is we'll talk about why did I write main here. What is the purpose of main? Before that, we'll ask a question. What is the purpose of this? The first line. This line, you are, by writing this line, you are including a file in your program. What does this file contains? The file contains information about your input functions and output functions. What is the input function I am using in this program right now? Nothing. What is the output function I am using in this program is printf. I am also going to use a input function right now in some time. Okay. The next is what? What is this line? Main. The main is a function. Every function needs to be called by another function. Every function needs to be called by another function. When you run a program, the operating system knows only one function name. What is the function name it knows is main. It calls the main. Therefore, if you want to run your program, you must have a main. Your execution of the program will start from the main. Okay, sir, what about if I remove the main, what happens? Okay, see what happens. It says undefined reference to what? Main. It is not able to run. Therefore, if you want to run a program, you must have a main. This is a function. The syntax of the function is you need to put a bracket. Why? It's called passing value to this. We'll come back to this later. Don't worry. Right now, you just put it there. What is this int means? This int represents the return type of the function. What is a return type? What do you mean by return? Somebody called, for that person I am going to give a value. What value I am going to give? Int. How did I give? By writing the statement return 0. 0 is an integer I return. So why did I return 0? If I return 0 means the system understand this program has run successfully. If I return a non-zero value means the system understand this program has run abnormally. It is abruptly stopped here or something happened to this program. That's it. Okay. This is the meaning of this. Therefore, this is a return type. By saying return, you are going to return this value. And return must be the last statement in your function. Return must be the last statement to be executed in your function. Remember. Therefore, we kept it in the last line. Now we talked about data types. What are the data types we have? What are the data types we have? The data types are, okay, the first is we talked about an int, we talked about a float, we talked about a double, okay. If you have a notebook, just make a note of double, E-E-Z, okay, double. And we are going to add some more. It's character. Some people say charge, no, character, C lowercase. Okay. Now these are the 4 basic data types. Data. Data is a piece of information. This piece of information is going to occupy a space in my memory. In my memory is going to occupy. Which memory I am talking about? In my RAM memory, primary memory. When you talk about a memory, you know it's in form of a GB. You must be knowing 1 GB would be 1024 MBs. What is 1 MB? Is going to be 1024 KBs. What is 1 KB? Is 1024 bytes. What is 1 byte? What is 1 byte? Sorry guys, I have to. Next class I will work out this board and come. 1 byte is 8 bits. What is 1 bit can store? 1 or 0. A bit can store 1 or 0. This is the way, that means your whole information in your computer is being stored in the form of 1 and 0. Now, when I say here right now int, it may take 2 bytes or 4 bytes, depends on the operating system. In DOS it takes 2. In other operating system, Linux, Mac, everywhere takes what? 4. Depends on the operating system it takes. Character, it takes 1 byte. Float, it takes 4 bytes. Double, it takes 8 bytes. That means in your program you have declared 2 float variables, base and height. Both are occupying 4 bytes, they are occupying in my RAM. Remember. Therefore, every time when you make variables, what they are doing, they are going to occupy a memory in your RAM. Remember that. Okay. Next we talked about, we wrote like this. What we wrote was, I hope that you'll have made a note of it. If you have not made a note of it, just make a note of it. So we are going to study this much more in detail, but right now I would like to begin. So just make a note of it. Character is 1 byte, integer is 2 bytes, float is 4 bytes, double is what? 8 bytes. Okay, one more thing. If you remember, I also used the format specifiers. If you want to use float, you'll use percentage f used. If you want to use a double, you'll use percentage lf will use. If you want the int, you'll use what? Percentage d. Okay, if you want to use a character, you can use percentage c. If you want to, okay, I'll when I teach characters, I'll explain to you in details more. Okay, this is what I mean. It's okay, make a note of this. Character, integer, float, and double. Now we wrote here in our program, we wrote float base one second guys, is some places it writes properly. Float base command that we wrote. Okay, here b and h are variables. So when I create a variable names, do I need to say one character? No. A variable name can contain up to 32 characters. Now you can write any name. I could have written here base, I could have written height, I could have written completely. The rule for it, okay, you can have 32 characters, but what are the rule for it? First rule is a variable name cannot start with a digit. I can't write 9 base, I can't write. I can't write what? 9 base, I can't write. Okay, I'll go back to the compiler. There I'll type it directly because that looks faster for me. Okay, so your variable name, I can write base. I can write here in this case, you can make a note of this. You can write underscore base. You can write here BA underscore SC is allowed. No other special character is allowed except what? Underscore. You can have a digit, but you cannot begin with a digit. This is wrong. 7 is wrong. Next, you can't use as keywords as a variable name. I can't write here float comma int. I can't write because int is a keyword which has a meaning in that. Okay, what are the keywords you are going to study? Therefore, it can have what in this case here? Can have a digit, but it cannot begin with a digit. It can what? Start with an underscore. You can have in between underscore, anything possible. No other special characters allowed. You can't put a space there, remember. Okay, next, you can't use a special words as what? As a variable names. Okay, the next line we talked about what? Input. The input is what? I directly assigned a value. But no, I want to write an input like that where the user is going to feed the input for me. Whenever the user runs a program, I want to feed. That means you want to take an input from the keyboard. You want to take an input from the keyboard. In this case, what you will do? If you want to take an input from the keyboard, you will use scanf. Okay. The scanf is same like a printer, but one condition is, in the scanf, you can put in the double quote, you can put only the format specifiers. You can't put a comma in between. You can't write anything in between. You can. Now, whatever scans, whatever taken from the keyboard, the first it will be transferred to B, second it has to be transferred to what? H. How I am going to say? First it has to be transferred to B, the second one transferred to what? H. By putting and we are going to get an address. we'll study later. We are going to get an address of the variables. Okay, how we'll study later. In this case, my input is going to be right now. I'm going to feed when I run my program. How I'm going to feed? Look, see, when I run my program, is waiting for my input. I put here 5 and then 6. I got. So, sir, you design the program, you know what to do, but the unknown person who runs the program does not know what to do. In this case, what you can do, you can say, before scanning, I am going to give a print statement saying that what, printf, I am going to write, enter the base and what, I run the program. See, now it's enter the base and this statement got executed. A program is a set of statements. Remember, input, process, and the output. Now I am going to feed it. What I am going to feed? What I am going to put 5 and 10. Therefore, by writing scanf, you can take the input dynamically. You can take the input here. Now let's go. What are the mistakes you will make? The first mistake you will make, sometimes you will forget to put what, the comma. What happens? Let us see. You will get an error. Okay. Next, you may not put the double quote here. You will get error. Okay. Missing what? Terminating character. I put it. Next, now the process we learned, the output we learned. Okay, now, so now whenever you run a program, what are the mistakes you generally make? Then how we'll understand? See, sometimes you forget to put the semicolon here. See what has happened. See, when you don't put a semicolon here, it's saying expected semicolon before printf. See, before printf here. Got it? Therefore, I have run this program. I get the enter the base 5, 12. I can put 12.5 also because I have used a float here. No, I want to take an integer. If you want to take an integer, make it %d here, and then you need to make, okay, you made %d, but you did not change the data type. What happens? Let us see. Okay. Oh, it's already giving an error to me. Expected %. The format %g expects argument of type integer, but the argument 3 has to be float here. Okay. So now what you do in this case is you need to make it what? I'll put some random values and I come out. I got some garbage values, remember, and I'm making here assignment. Done. Run the program. Enter the base. I put 4. Can I put 5.5? I put an integer. Can I put 5.5? Let's put and see what is happening. I got 10. It takes only what, the 5 from you. Okay. Yeah. So with this, if you want, you can make a small note of this in your notebook. You have a notebook from the day 1. You start writing it. Okay. So I am going to brief you right now what I have taught you. One is I taught you about what is a program. A program will have 3 steps we said. One is it will have an input, then it will have a process, then it will have an output. Remember, they are not interchangeable. What do you mean by this? Can I do the process first? Can I do the input second? No. It is not possible for me to make a lime juice without having the lime. Therefore, I should get the lime first. Then I need to put the process. Then I need to give an output here. Remember that, okay? So, input, process and output. Next, we talked about why do we write main? Main is the first function to be executed by the operating system, okay? And if without main, the program will not run. Why did I write int? Because int is a return type. We are returning an integer value to the operating system. By denoting it's a successful completion of the program. Okay, then we also said like this, everything has to be inside the brace of what, the main. Yeah, we did it. Now this is we call data type. We talked about four types of data we talked about. One is we talked about an int, then we talked about a float, then we talked about a double, and then we also talked about what, a character, right? What they are doing, everything we are going to study in detail. Okay, next we also said what is a variable. A variable is a memory location in my memory. It has a name. We are giving a name. In this, what we are doing right now, we are having a variable name b and h here. You can give any name here, you can give, but what we said, it cannot begin with a digit. It cannot have any other special character except underscore. Okay, and no keywords can be used as a variable name. Then we said that in this case, if we want to take an input dynamically, I use scanf. Why did I put 2%d? Because I'm scanning two integers. Can I put a message here, anything? No, you can't put. Why? Because scanf format string is called format string. The format string of scanf will accept only what format specifies. It won't accept what anything else. Then we calculated the area and we gave the output. Okay, yes, I hope that you have learned something, and we are going to put some programs for you to practice. So okay, if you have not solved the problem, you can join tomorrow at 6:30. Otherwise the class will begin at 7 o'clock. Okay, please make a note of this. In the link at the end, you will have what programs will be given to you. Please solve the problems. Okay, and thank you so much for coming, and I would be happy if you pass your comments, what I need to improve, because the first time I'm teaching online. So if you can tell me what change I should make it, I would be you can put it in your comments so that I can improve it in the next class. Okay, thank you so much for patiently listening to